Hi everyone, it's Megan from Serafinity & Co. Welcome to this week's reading. If you haven't already chosen a crystal, take a moment now to see which card or which crystal that you are drawn to. Bloodstone, green fluorite, amazonite. Take a deep breath and see which one you're most drawn to. So this week we have bloodstone, which quite often comes in like a greeny color, but then it has red sort of blotches and spots through it, which looks like blood. This one in particular doesn't really have any splotches, but in the Middle Ages they believed it to be Christ's blood, and the bloodstone's always been sort of considered a quite magical stone. It mainly stands for strength, courage, purification and vitality, so excellent to have in your pocket when you are ill or not feeling well, or if you just need a confidence boost. It's probably not a bad one to have in your pocket. Fluorite is one of my favorite stones. This is a rough cut kind of diamond fluorite. Fluorite is great for creating clarity in your mind, also for discernment, which is one of the things I think it helped me most for, which I didn't realize at the time because I didn't really know what it was for. I just knew that I needed it. I carried my fluorite around for a few months in my bra, and I felt like it really just made me much more calmer. But I did find myself kind of pulling back from people that maybe weren't good for me, and I was drawn more towards people that were good for me. Fluorite is excellent for figuring out those people who are draining your energy versus filling your cup up. Today we're going to be focusing on green fluorite, but there's also rainbow fluorite, and I cannot find my main piece, but I do have this one here. You can kind of see it's like a really beautiful aqua color, but it's got hints of purple in it. This one's a real crackly kind of tumble stone. It's not perfect, and that's what I like. I'm kind of like I like the blemishes in things. I'm not necessarily all about things. I mean, I'm a perfectionist, but beauty is found in the imperfections, so you know, that's why I chose this stone and made a necklace out of it. And then we have amazonite. Now this is a beautiful rough cut specimen which I got intending to put in one of my succulent gardens, but I like it and I kept it. Which I've done a lot, believe it or not. But when it's tumbled or polished, it comes into this beautiful aqua kind of green, and it graduates from sort of like a really pale green to a really dark green, which is really nice. Amazonite stands for truth, communication and harmony. It's the truth teller and the peacemaker. It's also very calming. Some people are very, very calmed by the gentle rocking of the ocean. Amazonite kind of has that sort of a vibe to it as well. Speaking your truth and big on communication. So they're the three stones that we are working with today. First we'll talk about the bloodstone, and the card that I've pulled today is the Magician. Now I'm using the Happy Tarot for this because I've just got it and I love it. I'm just obsessed with it at the moment. It's so cute and I really connect with it, and I think that when you find cards that you really connect with, then it's great to kind of build a bond with them. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. So the Magician is all about manifesting. So what have you been talking about lately? Have you been talking about going on a trip overseas? Have you been talking about having a baby? Have you been talking about how you don't have any money? Have you been talking about how lonely you are and how nobody wants to date you? Whatever you're talking about right now, that's what you're going to bring into being. This is a little bit of a encouragement card to the people whose thoughts are aligned with positive things that will feed their life and their soul, but it also comes as a little bit of a warning, you know, be careful what you wish for type, for those whose thoughts are maybe too focused on the negative. If you're telling yourself a story that, I'm just going to use money as an example. If you're telling yourself a story that you can't afford things and that you don't have any money and you're so broke and blah, 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 and you keep saying these phrases over and over and over again, you're going to be attracting more and more of that kind of lack of prosperity. But if you want to increase your prosperity, then you need to start cutting those phrases out completely and replacing them with, how can I afford that? Or what can I do to be able to afford that? Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Focus on how does that make you feel as well. Once you add what you want with the emotion behind it, then things are just going to start flowing to you. So this is a real positive card because it means that if you have been on the kind of negative path, that you can manifest whatever it is that you are thinking and talking about, but you just have to make sure that those things are the right things for you, what you really want, not what you don't want. For fluorite, 7 of Wands. Now, 7 of Wands looks a little bit like this chick. She's got 6 wands against her. It's like 6 against 1. But the thing about the 7 of Wands is that she's high. She's got the position. She's high up on the mountain. She's got the advantage. She can take her time making a decision, and she can choose a plan of attack that's going to best suit her. Just because the odds are stacked against you doesn't mean you can't win. You just have to be able to make the right choices to defeat whatever problem it is that you're facing. So if there's something going on at work and you're not quite sure if you can take it anymore, just know that you've got the right tools and the right position to be able to beat whatever it is that you're faced with. You should not give up. Take a step back, have a look at what you're being affected by, because if we think back to the fluorite, that helps us to discern whether or not people are draining us or feeding us. Think about the people that you're around, and think about a different strategy so that you can ultimately be fulfilled, whether that's energetically or at work or whatever it is. You need to take the time to see where it is that you can, where are you at your advantage, and how can you achieve victory. And Amazonite, oh, he's so cute. This is the Fool. The Fool, when I first got my first tarot card, it kept jumping out the same card over and over and over and over and over again. Like, I'm talking like 15 times this card. Every time I would like just sit there shuffling the cards, because the woman I bought the cards off said you should be shuffling them for 20 minutes every day, which I don't totally agree with, but anyway, I did it at the time. I was like, okay, I've got to do this, because this lady's told me, and because she said it, then I must take it as gospel, right? This card just kept popping out at me again and again and again, and I didn't really fully understand what the Fool was all about at the beginning, but it was all about new beginnings. If you have a look, this guy, he's jumping off a cliff. Like, I mean, I know it's like a cupcake or something, but in the traditional cards, he's just about to step off a cliff, but he's not worried. He's got his essentials in his pack. He believes that everything's going to be okay. He's got that unwavering feeling of, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and dang it, I'm going to do it. This little doggy here is supposed to be your ego. He's the little voice inside your head that says, do you really think you should be jumping off a cliff right now? His belief that everything's going to be okay is what drives him. This week is all about new beginnings, the start of a journey, something good maybe that you've been holding on to, that you're ready to just take that leap of faith into the unknown. And yeah, it's probably scary, and you don't know what's gonna happen, and all of those things that yappy dog keeps whispering in your ear, or yapping at your heels, or trying to bite at your ankles to get your attention. You need to be able to let that little yappy dog voice go and say, screw it. This is what I want to do, and I believe that I can do it. This is a time for new beginnings. Now, when I was doing the shuffling for this particular card, I did have a jumper, which means that a card jumped out of the deck while I was shuffling, and this is the card that jumped out right here. This is the Chariot, and have a look at this one. So cute. Look at him. I love all the clouds. I've got like candy coming out of it. So basically, this is like what I envisaged when I was looking at, when I closed my eyes last week when I was doing the reading on the clear quartz. This is basically what I saw, and then the next week I got this deck in the mail. The Chariot's all about, you've been given permission by the king to go for it, go on that battle, charge forward and get it done, son. So for me, this was a relevant card to the Fool, because the Fool's taking that leap of faith, and this is kind of like the universe's way of saying, go for it, do it. What have you been holding back on? What is it that you need to pull the trigger on? Because now's the time. This is the beginning of something awesome. And like Aaliyah says, if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. So, believe in yourself and you can achieve anything. So that's about it for this week's reading. I hope that some of this was helpful. Manifest whatever it is you're thinking about. Don't give up. What did I have in my head? I had this song in my head before. It was a Michael Jackson song. I can't think of it. If I think of it, I'll post it. I'll post it in the post when I upload the video. I feel like this is a really good week, and I think that a lot of us have been quite overwhelmed, but now that we're getting closer to Christmas, it's time to get excited. We're just about to hit that whole New Year's resolution thing and starting to think about what 2018 is gonna hold for us. So I think that these cards kind of really point to getting your brain and your mind, your body and your soul aligned to set yourself up for a really amazing 2018. And something that just came to me then while I was thinking about that is that this could be you know, maybe as an alternative, and this sort of still comes under the same sort of a meaning. You've got your mother-in-law, you've got your sister-in-law, you've got your brother-in-law, you've got your own mother, and you've got, I mean, whoever it is that, you know, you've got all this family coming to your house. Are you hosting? I would really like to know if you've chosen this card and you're hosting Christmas this year. Don't give up. It is your house, your rules. You know, you are the queen of the castle, and king of the castle. I don't mean to be sexist. I just feel like it's a feminine thing, probably just because I'm hosting Christmas and I'm a girl. So please don't take everything that I say here, she, as gospel. But just remember as well that, you know, what I tell you here, this is a general reading. This is not specific to you, but I'm hoping that there are things in here that can help you in the next week to get yourself kind of ready for the next phase in whatever it is that you're doing. But just remember that this may or may not resonate with you right now. It may resonate later in the week. It may resonate in another week's time. Take it in and then let it go. Then if something happens during the week and this pops into your head, think about what I've said and then you can make your adjustments or whatever it is you need to do then. Hope you guys have a wonderful week, and thanks for watching. Put a little comment down below if you've watched this all the way to the end. I'd love to know who's actually watching this all the way to the end, and I hope you have a great week. Bye! If you would like your own personal reading, I am offering them at the moment on a kind of a trial basis. So have a look on my shop on the Serafinity & Co page to see prices and what kind of questions you can ask, or send me a PM what kind of a spread you'll need for the question that you've got. The more specific your question, the more specific your answer. The more general your question, the more general your answer. So if you do have something that you want to ask, I would really love to do a personal reading for you. And we do that online as well. It doesn't have to be in person, but if you want to meet me in person, that's okay as well.